All right, guys, so full disclosure, this is a long one, but it's going to explain a couple things. And what we did this week, what we got going on, and what our long-term plans are. And now we have to cement something because we actually do have a problem. But the problem with that is the problem I always have. I hate having a car down in the garage. So watch, listen. If you care, give it a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We'll see you guys around. Watch. What's going on, guys? It's Copper Cutlass, and so what do we got going on? Well, last weekend we didn't really do much, kind of unwinding from Six Summer. Prior to that, we had been on the track every day since May 9th. This car hasn't been here because it's been parked at an undisclosed location near the racetrack, and somebody was very, very kind and nice to let me use one of their open shops and keep the car there. And it allowed me to just drive into town, grab my car, drive 2.5 miles into the racetrack, unbolt the mufflers, and we're ready to race. But in the course of that time, our intake gaskets got worse and worse and worse. No major vacuum leaks, although I may have had a small vacuum leak. I did have to readjust the fast idle, but I also did add a couple of degrees of timing. No major reasons for that explanation. The car really doesn't make any more power at between 32 and 36. Cars usually happy at 34. Long story short, I left it at 36 because it kind of landed right on it. No need to move it. Drove it on the street. Drives great. Whatever. But I did do intake gaskets last week. I started on it, I think, Wednesday. Put it out together Thursday. Fired it up Friday and drove it yesterday. Again, I do things in bite sizes because rushed work is never good. No major oil leaks. I do got a little bit of wicking at the copper line that goes to the oil pressure gauge, but that is so minor. I drove the car on the street. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I do have a spare line that I bought just in case if anything goes wrong. But again, this is important stuff you guys got to keep track of on your cars. We added a new rag to our oil filler tube. Biggest downfall to the Oldsmobile is you'll push oil through that tube no matter what, unless you baffle it. I lost the one that I baffled, but the rag is funny and kind of became a symbol of the car. So we got new intake gaskets. They're fresh. They're crispy. And by crispy, I mean crisp, like crisp dollar bills. I took it on the street, beat the crap out of it, found where valve float happens, and accidentally, and drove it, left some big tire marks on the street. I flat-footed it, and the car was happy. No coughs, no pops, nothing. I did take off the distributor to do the intake, even though I didn't have to, but it just makes things easy. And I've done this so many times that it's lost all meaning. So early on, when this engine was together, we had problems with keeping intake gaskets on it, and that's because when I checked for port alignment, I did it without gaskets, right? I aligned the ports and then thought I had enough space to cut the gaskets and put it all down and make it work. No, I wasn't happy. Your standard, like Mr. Gaskets that are like 60 thou, I blow those out every year. So the last set of gaskets that have lasted the longest was the ones that I put on here when I put this engine back in 3 years ago. They're like 20 thou. I think these are flat out. My buddy Dave Meyer gave me these. So I need to order up a set of 20 thou from Cometic. I think last time when I ordered from them, I had to order a run of them, but I plan on running the same top end on the next short block, so we'll see. I still have to get stuff to the machine shop, and with it being a holiday weekend next weekend, it's like, fuck, there goes another weekend where I can't do that. So it keeps getting pushed off, but I realized that between this and this, I have to condense something. So getting a short block built for this is going to be key, and we're going to be ready to go. And if I keep the short block long enough, who knows? Maybe I'll get aluminum heads for it. I don't know. Just because. I'm already going to do a solid roller, in for a penny, in for a pound. But long-term goal is this car is going to get put down. Kind of like what we did with this. a couple years ago, which by a couple years ago, I mean like over 10 years ago. I put this car down an entire year. This is before I was bracket racing, and I did a lot of really good work to the car that's pretty much kept the car in service since I met my wife. So it's been over 13 years. Because one of our first dates, she came over here before we went out, and I was literally wrapping up the car and about to fire it up with the old engine that was in here. This one's been in here 8 years now. I've been bracket racing for 5. I spent the first 2 years just tinkering on it, testing on it, doing like Buick Pontiac races and whatnot. But this is going to be the project. I've decided there's too many things that are starting to go wrong with it, right? So the transmission that's in the car is one that used to be in here. It's starting to go. It left me a reminder that it needs something fixed, because that is literally a puddle of transmission fluid. So something, I've never had it leak like that. A drip, yeah, but never that much. The engine I built back in 2007. Still going strong. I'm just going to pull it out, probably keep it, maybe sell it. Really do not know, but it is a great running engine. And it runs. But essentially, we need to get the 427 done, which that's going to need aluminum heads. I'm going to put a 4L80 in here. I'm going to rebuild the rear end with 390s and a helical cut posi unit, like a True Trax. And essentially, we're going to stick to our goal of trying to run somewhere in the 11s, be fully streetable, be able to drive into the track and drive it home. If it breaks, I got a truck and a trailer, so there's no need to, whatever. Something will always work out. But I do miss the days of driving to the track. And this car, I want to keep it fully streetable, but I want it to be fun. I want it to be, if I get this Lanyard to run 11s, that's great. I mean, right now it runs high 14s with open headers and no real refinement. This car, the one season I raced it did pretty damn good on its own. But it needs work. It needs attention. I need to put it on jack stands, check the front suspension, check the rear suspension. A lot of little things I have to check out. But anyway, that's long term. This is probably going to take like a year to get everything really going. Because cost-wise, again, I talked about the initial swap, which was pretty much just the engine, getting it in, using the Turbo 350 I had, and then rebuilding the rear end. Well, that whole number just doubled. And that's racer math, because I probably realistically, even to make it work with a 4L80E, a good converter, and doing the switches versus a controller, I would probably have, between the rear end, transmission, and cylinder heads, and all the odds and ends, probably about $7,000, but I'm going to call it 10. And I have to trickle that out throughout the course of a year. I'm still working on the house. I'm still doing stuff. And I'm not afraid to talk numbers, because it's a reality, but I want to do this right. So it's going to get parked. As you can see, the car is pretty clean. And this will be probably the second biggest undertaking that this car has had. And I plan on doing a new radiator, electric fans, making it really, really nice, as I've talked about before many, many times. But it sucks because we get caught up in racing, we get busy, and it just kind of goes by the wayside. And like, I drove it to the track because we were going to watch a race, and then I drove it to work, and it started making some noise. And I don't know if it's necessarily the transmission or the rear end, but whatever. Both are long in tooth, and just the whole drivetrain just needs to get kind of fixed. That engine's good, so it's probably going to get sold, even though I probably shouldn't sell it, because it would actually go right back in here. And all I would need to do is literally put a 342 gear set and a spool, and I could run this, and this will probably run 13 still. The fact that this ran 14s in this means that it'll probably be 13s in this. So this engine's still sound. Am I going back and forth enough for you guys? So enough about my ramblings. Happy Sunday, fun day. Thank you guys for watching, following along. Share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Scott Cutlass, and we'll see you guys around.